Well, hello, all my wonderful broskies and broskies in the Maverick Nation. Chimichanga. 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 And welcome to What If Izuku Was Deadpool Part 2. Yes, that's the next What If down the line. And then we get to what seems to be the most popular out of the newer What Ifs. I guess. I didn't know people liked Ruby that much. I didn't know people liked Ruby that much. I mean, seriously, Jesus. Either they really like Ruby or they really like My Hero Academia or both. I think I'm gonna have some fun with all three of these series. Because they're really unorthodox ideas to put together. And I just seem to be a really unorthodox person. Out of the norm. Anyways, seeing as part 2 is going to start off with the first day of class 1A, that's Shota Aizawa's class, the UA. Basically, Izuku, all throughout his mind, like during his walk to class, he would just be like, he'd be just like, he'd be talking to himself. He'd be like, okay, fourth wall breaking powers. So how would I utilize them if I wasn't in a fight? There always has to be a way to utilize something, even if it's not in a fight. Oh, I know. Wait, and he just like opens up a freaking like book out of nowhere. He just like grabs a book out of nowhere. Like literally, there is no bookstore in sight. He is just walking down a road, and then all of a sudden, like arm just disappears from the screen. And whenever it comes back into frame, he has a book in his hand. He's just like, Yep." And so basically, he opens the book, and it's just like, okay. Fourth wall breaking powers. Oh, I know. Characters. There's the main character, and then there's the side characters. And then there's the main villain or villains, and there's the side villains. And there's the story arcs, and, who would be the main character then? I guess. And he just has like the book. He's just like Izuku Midoriya, also known as what side character Kachan calls him Deku. He literally just wrote Kachan down as a side character. Also, side note, side character Kachan, being Chiatsuki Bakugo, is also sort of a rival for main character Izuku Midoriya. And then he just closes the book. I hope that was informative enough. And then the OG Deadpool is just like, well, you truly are really skilled at fourth wall breaking. And Izuku Midoriya is like, what do you mean? You literally just wrote down your role. You're the main character of the story. And Izuku's like, so wait, I was able to know my role in this. I was even able to know. I was even able to know that I was a part of a story. Damn, but how is the story gonna go? What twists and turns? Will allies turn into foes? Will foes turn into allies? What alliances will be made? What alliances will be cut off? Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. And, you know, Izuku just walks into the building, ignoring the fact that the door is overly huge. And he's just like, he's able to push it open. Like, no diff. Like, literally, no diff. Because, Deadpool has super strength. And, so he's all chill while he's, you know, he's able to, whenever he gets inside, he sits at his desk and he's just mumbling while jotting down stuff in the book, like side character, also known as romantic like, wait, erase that. Possible romantic interest. We need to keep this PG. We need to keep this PG, guys. And then everyone, it's like they're at like a freaking meeting. Like all the Deadpools, like the three different Deadpools are just like, yeah, we should probably keep this PG for the most part. Well, at least that part. I mean, we don't want it to be like Stephen King's It. And Izuku was just like, what? Why would you even suggest that? And Deadpool was like, no, I was actually anti-suggesting it. And Izuku was like, oh, thank God. A lot less, a lot less P, a lot more PG and less 13. And now that I said that, there's gonna be like something in the script says that there's gonna be a hero named 13, isn't there? Oh wait, and he just flips to a random page in the script. Hero 13. Shit. Nico Bailing. Grime fuck. He's just like, well, anyways, back to what I was writing. Possible love interest for the main character, Ochako Uraraka. And then he gets over to Bakugo's whole thing. He's just like, Tatsuki Bakugo, also known as Kachan, rival to the main character of the series, Izuku Midoriya. And also seems to have a never-ending list of the things, like insults, to call the main character, Izuku Midoriya. He just seems to have a never-ending list of like insults that he calls him, and he's like, "Oh, this person here, Shoto Todoroki. I don't know much about him. Don't know much about most of the people here. oh shit. So what do we do now?" And the Deadpools are just like, well, there's that guy in the sleeping bag. And basically that'd be OG Deadpool. And childish Deadpool would just be like, I wonder why he's in a sleeping bag. Maybe he's reading pornographic magazines, but he doesn't want anyone else to know. And sophisticated Deadpool would be like, or maybe he's just sleeping. And Izuku would just be like, I wonder. And then just out of the sleeping bag comes like Aizawa, and he's just like, ooh, that's right. Eraserhead, also known as Shota Aizawa. And then he just waits. I'm Shota Aizawa. I will be your teacher. From for for class 1A, like your homeroom teacher for class 1A. And he just jots it all down. Shota Aizawa, also known as the Hero Eraserhead, homeroom teacher for the class in which the main character partakes in, along with his rival and possible love interest. And other side characters. and done. And Aizawa would just be like, man, he's a weird kid. And basically, whenever they would get to the field, like get in their PE uniforms and get to the field, I'm gonna say like Deku's PE uniform is his PE uniform, but in like Deadpool colors, like the red and black. And so, yeah. Whenever we get to Izuku slash Deku, whatever you want to call him, I call him Izuku. So his whole thing with the ball throw, the grip, the sidestep, basically mostly everything, he would get pretty damn good. He would get a pretty damn good score in. And Aizawa would be like, basically, I think the ball throw was the last thing. Like it was some sort of version of a ball throw. And Aizawa would be like, this is the last thing, Midoriya. You don't want to be look like a laughing stock. I hope you, focus. And Izuku's just like, well, shit. Never mind. Oh, and by the way, Mr. Aizawa, about the whole thing, I noticed you were trying to erase my quirk. So I wrote your quirk down as eraser. However, you might find that it's a little bit harder to do that than you think. And as I was like, oh? Wait, a book? I don't see a book anywhere. And he's just like, oh. And Aizawa was like, what the shit? Like, no, he doesn't whisper. He's like, what the shit? And Izuku's just like, yeah, weird, isn't it? But that's not really everything that I can do. As you're about to see, he's just like, one for the money, two for the show. Let's go, cat, go! And he's just like, Jimmy Chonga! And he's just like, damn it, OG, you made me say that. And OG is like, well, I said it once in your dreams, and you kept on repeating it in your head. I don't know why. And Izuku's like, because it's really freaking catchy, the Chimichanga song. The Chimichanga song. It's really catchy. I mean, he's just saying this as the ball is flying. And basically, I'm gonna say, I'm, I'm, I'm gonna look up Izuku's score in the ball throw. What was Izuku's score in the ball throw? Okay. It does say 705.3 was his score, but is that like in kilometers, meters? I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna say kilometers or meters, just because it didn't say when what I found. but I now know that the score was 705.3. So what I'm going to do here is basically, since Deadpool is a mad lad, mercenary with a mouth, and he has freaking Wolverine syndrome. So I would think he would pretty be like literally a mercenary, and he has Wolverine syndrome. So yeah, I would think that he would be pretty damn tough. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna get the calculator app out, and okay, 700. I think it was 704, but I don't remember now. I think it was 705 actually. I'm just gonna say 705. That's not that far away. I mean, I don't think so. Times. I'm just gonna say 3, seeing at the beginning of the series. So 3. Oh shit! I think that might break the scales. Well, this is what the calculator app said. Basically, whenever he throws, it's Aizawa, his eyes were already widened, and now it's almost like they're about to fall out of his head. I think what the calculator app said was 2,115. Basically, what the score says on his phone, basically he's like, what? No. And basically, like, Izuku's like, yeah, with the last one, I decided to, give it all I got. Izuku Midoriya, if this is the best you had, the score you would have gotten on all the others would have been your ball throw. 2,115. That's that's insane. And Izuku was just like, really? 2,115? I could have sworn that last time I threw it was farther. Yeah, I was practicing. So what? I mean, isn't that what we're supposed to be doing? Training? So you're actually disappointed in yourself? I mean, little 2,000, but 2,115? Like, Izuku's like, it's not that much, Teach. And, like, Aizawa was left to contemplate what the hell is he talking about? It's not that much. Like, breaking, like, all the way into, like, the 2,000 mark. I mean, Aizawa would be impressed at that, but 2,100? No, 2,115. And Bakugo was just like, he's not even angry anymore. He's just like, what the, but, he just doesn't even know anymore. Like, Bakugo's so freaking pissed. But he's also so freaking flabbergasted. Like, what the hell? Teach, are you sure your phone isn't broken? And as I was like, no, it's fine. But, I am very impressed with what Izuku was able to do. And basically, class goes the same as it would every day, like the whole hero school. But, after class, after, Izuku is done doing everything that he would do on a normal day, after, like, everything else, like, normally whenever Izuku would go to bed, Deadpool, like, rings something in his ear. He's like, hey, Izuku, nice ball throw you did. And, Izuku's like, yeah, thanks to you guys. And Deadpool's like, actually, yes, but seeing as you didn't hold back, I kind of wanted to give you a little bit of a present. Your PE uniform did look a little bit more unique than everyone else's. It reminded me of my suit whenever I wasn't stuck in your body. Or our suit. And he just sees like a box appear out of nowhere. And OG Deadpool is just like, yeah, come on, open it. And Izuku's like, fine. And whenever he opens it, he sees. Has a freaking Legend of Zelda music. He literally hears the music in his head. And he sees it's a uniform. And it comes with everything. Katanas, stun grenades, guns. Man, what the hell do you think I'm going to be doing? And Deadpool is like, well, put the suit on. There's a little bit of a functionality on the belt that you might want to check out. And so he puts the suit on and he's like, what type of functionality? Press the button that looks like my face. Or at least what, covered by the mask. And basically, it would basically be where the buckle would be. And so Izuku presses it, and he's like, so what am I? And he just like he's on all the other way to the other side of his room, and he's like, what the shit? And OG Deadpool is just like, yep, teleportation. And, Izuku's like, and I can still use all my fourth wall breaking powers to pull all sorts of other things? Yeah, just in case the katanas break, you can always get spares. Or in case you run out of ammo, you can always get more ammo. Or if you're running out of grenades, more grenades. Or if you're looking to mix it up with something, you can always do that too. Like mines or whatever. And Izuku's like, well, I think I'm starting to get it. And so he just pulls the mask over his head. Well, technically I have a regeneration factor, a healing factor. I learned that the hard way. And, Deadpool is like, so yeah, you can't get drunk. But hey, no hangovers. And Izuku would be like, so wait. I don't think I'll get too tired if I go out for a quick patrol. And seeing as I have a mask over me and everything else, a lot of people won't know it's me. If I just teleport over to the house whenever I'm done, a lot of people won't be able to track teleportation. I mean, it does seem to be a very special kind, one that not a lot of heroes, I think, would be able to tell. And, OG Deadpool is just like, so, yeah, I was thinking, and seeing as, Deadpool, guys, seeing as, out of story here for a second, seeing as Deadpool kind of has, clashed with, like, a Spider-Man and Wolverine, basically the entirety of the Avengers, X-Men, basically the most of the Marvel Universe he knows about them, and probably even most of the DC Universe. I mean, fourth wall breaking in the maximum. I mean, come on, guys. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, basically, what I'm gonna say is, basically, what OG Deadpool tells him to do is basically just take a leap of faith and be like, yeah, just do it. And, I mean, Izuku would be like, sure. And then right before he hits the ground, he would teleport. And then he would just like go bing, 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 bing all over the place. And basically, Izuku would be like, "Where are we heading?" "Well, I heard there's this guy who's recently moved here to avoid a Senor Spider-Man." "Wait, there's someone trying to avoid the American hero Spider-Man, so they moved over here?" And Deadpool would be like, "Yep." "He tried to avoid Spider-Man, so he moved all the way over to Japan. Well, looks like we're about to have to teach him a lesson." And Izuku was like, "Yeah, that's right. Wait, seeing as you and the two other voices, which I have named Deadpool C and Deadpool S, C for childish and S for sophisticated, Deadpool C and Deadpool S, and I'm just gonna call you OG Deadpool, or just DP, and Deadpool just likes DP more. Seeing as you're all Deadpools, I'm gonna call my quirk Deadpool, and that's also what I'm gonna make my superhero name." And Deadpool's like, "Wait, superhero? Mostly heroes just call themselves heroes." And, Izuku's like, "Well, a superhero would be considered more like a vigilante hero. But they call themselves, well, the people that love them call them superheroes. But, like, the Hero Society see them as vigilantes. But, the people that really love them call them superheroes. Because they're not afraid to do what needs to be done even without a hero license. You know, uh, you were talking about the whole Spider-Man thing. With great power comes great responsibility." And Deadpool would just be like, "Oh, so are you looking to become a superhero?" "Yeah, but I don't want anyone in Class 1A or anyone else, like anyone that knows me, to know about the fact that I'm Deadpool. Well, technically, the new Deadpool." And DP's like, OG Deadpool's like, "Technically, we all have like a side names, so technically you would be the definitive Deadpool of this universe. So you could just call yourself Deadpool. I mean, I don't care. You call me OG Deadpool or DP, I really don't give a shit." and 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 Izuku's just like, "Thanks, thanks, buddy. So, about that thing you said, that person who went all the way over to Japan in order to flee from Spider-Man." And Deadpool is just like OG Deadpool is just like, his name is, I forgot. Basically, the supervillain name he has, Kingpin. And Izuku's like, his supervillain name is Kingpin. Hmm. Well, I'm gonna have to find some leads. The search for the Kingpin is on. Shouldn't take me too long. I mean, a lot of things about me are enhanced, so. And basically, he just sees a couple people and they're like, "Yeah, the boss wants us to move this. And if we don't move it by the time it's sunrise, we're gonna get in a whole lot of trouble. And you don't want to get in trouble with Kingpin." And basically, Shigaraki is like standing on a bunch of boxes, and Kirogiri is just like next to him. And actually, Shigaraki would be like sitting, and Kirogiri would be the one who was standing. And Shigaraki would be like, "Hello, boys." And then they'd just be like, "Please don't inform the boss." And Shigaraki's just like, "Oh, well, if you don't make me angry, I won't tell Kingpin about your misfortunate inability to be competent." A lot, basically, basically, Shigaraki is like, "If you don't make me angry, I won't tell." However, Kurogiri over here, I'm not so sure. And Kirigire's just like, don't get me involved in this. And basically all the guys, all the mooks are basically just like, the Shigaraki, is there anything you're gonna need? And Shigaraki's just like, you really aren't able to tell about that one over there. Basically, Izuku thought he was hid well, but this guy can find out where he is. Like shit. Like, he was so busy talking to DP, he was like, he didn't even find that great of a place to hide. And basically, all the mooks are like, hey, is that Spider-Man? And like freaking Shigaraki just smacks one of them over the head and just like with a metal pole and just like, no, you idiot! That looks nothing like Spider-Man. Besides, the Kingpin moved all the way over to Japan to get away from Spider-Man, not to get closer to him. And Kirigire's like, yeah, I heard he was in England or something, like Europe. And Kirigire's just like, had some kid take his place. And Shigaraki's like, yes, had a kid take the place of the real Spider-Man. Shows how much of a true superhero he really is. Isn't that right, my bomb-throwing friend? And the Green Goblin would just show up the hell out of nowhere and drop some bombs. And Izuku would have to dodge this and basically jump up in the air and roundhouse kick Green Goblin off the glider and basically just direct the glider straight into him, and he would ram into a wall. And the Green Goblin would be like, "You insolent little." And basically, Shigaraki's like, basically, now, basically, Shigaraki would be like, now, Goblin, we don't need losing our heads here. We can deal with him, right? And Shigaraki's like, basically, now Izuku's like, oh, now he's gonna get into this? And basically, Izuku is just like, he just decides, you know what? If I'm gonna be a superhero, the one they call vigilante, that means I don't have to follow the same rules as regular heroes, which means I won't have a guilty conscience over doing this. And then he just freaking matrixes all of their gunfire and just zooms straight into him like Shadow after he takes off the inhibitor rings and just starts slicing and dicing. And Shigaraki's just like, oh well, you don't seem to be a normal hero. You're probably one of those superheroes. You seem very novice, though. And the Green Goblin's like, yeah, tell that to my glider, Shigaraki. And Shigaraki's like, whatever. Uh, I think is Harry the older one or is Norman the older one? I'm gonna say, actually, I believe Harry is the son and Norman is the father, so. Yeah, Norman, I don't care about your stupid glider. And Shigaraki would be like, shit, now they know. There's only so many Normans in Japan. And the Green Goblin would be like, you son of a Shigaraki. And he would just have a laser gun to Shigaraki's face. And Shigaraki would be like, now, Norman, we don't need to. Shigaraki can decay things, but he has to have, close range. But, there's freaking bombs and laser guns that, the freaking Green Goblin has. And basically, Norman would be like, if you don't shut your damn mouth, Shigaraki, I will kill you. Is that understood? And Shigaraki's just like, damn it. fine. We'll do it your way, Goblin. And he's like, yes, that's right. The Green Goblin. The itsy bitsy spider went out the spider web. Now here's this novice I'm gonna kill to death. And then he's just like freaking swoops in. And like Izuku's like, man, this guy's unstable. And then he's just like, okay, fine, I guess. For you, I get to try this out. And then he's just like, say, I got a present for you, Goblin. See, like, you like throwing bombs? And then Shigaraki's like, Goblin, watch out! And then Green Goblin's just like, wait, what the? You have bombs too? And it's like, boom! And then a bunch of rubble falls on him. And Shigaraki and Kirogiri are like, quick, this is our time to move. If we get out of here before he wakes up, he won't laser death me to death. Shigaraki isn't properly speaking because of how scared of the Green Goblin he is. Like, whenever the Green Goblin is like stable, like the very small amount of time that he is stable, Shigaraki is like perfectly in control. But whenever the Green Goblin starts to get unstable, that's whenever that stuff happens. And basically, Kirogiri would warp them out, but leave the Green Goblin to just, get himself out of the rubble. And then the Green Goblin would be like, damn it, Shigaraki. Damn it. Damn it. Damn you, Kirogiri. Why didn't you warp me? And then all of a sudden, like, he would just hear, you need to keep your eyes on the prize, asshole. And then he would just get like a freaking sweep kick, like a freaking sweep roundhouse kick, like a drill kick to the face. And he would just send him flying. And then Izuku would teleport to where he is. And then he just basically, tie him up. And you would just tie him to like one of the streetlight poles. And like, he'd just be like so tired, he'd just be like, I will get you, Shigaraki, and Kirogiri for this. I will get you all for this. And Izuku's like, normally I would report that you were a villain with the name of Norman, but I really don't see the need to. I mean, after all, you do seem pretty weak without that glider of yours, and your bombs, and your little stupid pew-pew laser gun. Well, actually, let me take that. Maybe the authorities would like to see how this was made. And as for your glider, it's already trash, so I don't really need anything to do with that. But this gun does seem very interesting. And he'd just be like, the Green Goblin would just be like, I hate you. You don't even have a name, do you? And he would just be like, wrong, Deadpool. And basically, the Green Goblin would be like, I hate you, Deadpool. You hear me? I hate you, Deadpool. You're just like the Spider-Man. You're just like him. And Izuku's like, will you stop yelling? And no, I'm not. You see, Spider-Man doesn't like to kill, but I could give a shit less. Besides, I gotta get back to doing what I do best. And then he just teleports away. And basically just leaves the Green Goblin to yell out his name. Or at least his superhero name. His vigilante superhero name. And the cops to pick him up. And basically, I'm gonna say Hawks, Mirako, Endeavor, Night Eye, and All Might were there. Not Mirako. Basically, they were all there. And All Might's just like, can't be here for too long, or else I'll run out of energy for my form. So, basically, you all know about him, so I'm just gonna. He just blitzes. And, they don't care. They already have something to deal with. But, Endeavor wants to follow All Might, but, he quickly gets stopped by Hawks' feathers and Miriko's, just being Miriko. And basically, they, take, the Green Goblin into custody, but they soon find out there's like something forming around the Green Goblin, and 1 second he's there, 1 second he's not. And basically, the Green Goblin just drops, and he's like, and Kirogire's just like, you're welcome. Oh, and by the way, these, and he just breaks the freaking, like, cuffs and, like, I forget, shackles around, like, the hands and, like, feet, and, but whenever he breaks it, he, like, breaks it really hard, because, he's a mist villain, he has to use a lot of force in order to even do any of that shit, so Green Goblin is just like, fuck! Damn it. Is Harry here? And, Kiragire's like, I thought you didn't want Harry to know about your life as a villain for us. Villain for our hire. And Norman, because, Norman was the father, Norman would just be like, that's exactly why I asked you if he was here. And Kiragire's just like, and that's why I replied with that. He isn't here. And Shigaraki is just like, so, now who's top billing without your stupid little laser gun? Or your glider? Or any of your damn bombs? And he's just about to freaking decay Norman. And, like, just someone out of the blue, like, you just see a robotic arm just smack Shigaraki unconscious. Like, just, well, BAM! And, Shigaraki's just unconscious. And, you just hear All For One's voice in, like, a room and just be like, now, Otto, was that really necessary? And Otto was like, for my ability to maintain my sanity, yes, Lord All For One. It was very necessary to knock out your disciple. He was getting ungodly amounts of annoying. Yeah, so turns out Otto Octavius, also known as Doc Ock or Dr. Octopus, and the Green Goblin are indeed working for the League of Villains as supervillains for hire. Basically, if All For One supplies Norman and Otto with what they need, basically they'll continue to work for them, as long as they are continually supplied with what they need. That's why I said supervillains for hire. And that is where I'm going to end off this story, because, oh my god, 43 freaking minutes, almost 44. Yeah, 44 minutes and something seconds. So, yeah, The Dark Shadow Maverick is out. Alan Ziana Dowses, The Dark Shadow Maverick is out.